Hi, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. Before we get started, I want you to make sure that you have your color tiles today. You're going to need a pencil. Get your book out, a purple book, purple Spire book, and we're going to get started here. The first thing we need to remind ourselves over is what we're studying in this section, and we're studying the soft C sound, which is S, and C will say S before an E, an I, and a Y. So as in scent, city, and bicycle. Okay, just a little reminder there. Let's go over our word cards now. These are the cards that are going to follow our soft C rule. Say them with me. Scent, face, place, nice, peace, sense, center, fence, success, pencil, city, entrance, peace, accept, ice, exercise. Good. Now let's go over the words that do not follow the rules very well, and those are the words that we have on our red cards. Okay, this one does follow the rule back here for the CE. Okay, it's going to say S. It's the beginning part that's breaking the rules on this one. Now, we're going to go through all of these. These are all the level 5 red words that don't follow the rules. Once, heart, sugar, sure, door, floor, honor, tomorrow, worry, color. Nice job. Okay. Now, we're going to be using our tiles in just a minute, but before we do, we're going to warm up. So I want you to get warmed up on hearing things, and we're going to do a little word play with that. So the first thing I'd like for you to do is to hear me, echo what I say when I tell you to, and then change it as I tell you to change it. Okay? So say cries. Say cries again, but don't say zzz. What does that turn into? Cry. Let's do that with another word. Say tries. Say tries again, but don't say zzz. Try. All right. Say cried. Say cried again, but don't say d. Cry. Say flies. Say flies again, but don't say zzz. Fly. Good. Okay. So what we were doing is we were dropping a suffix off the end of those. So good. I hope you heard those as we were doing them. Now let's hear some syllables. Let's see if we can figure out the syllables in words. Okay. Say dancer. Now how many syllables does dancer have? Dancer. That's a word that has a suffix on the end of it. Okay. Say racer. How many syllables? Racer. 2 syllables. It had a suffix on the end. The base word was race. The suffix was -er. Okay. Say pencil. How many syllables? Pencil. 2 syllables. Yes. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to hear now the words that we're going to build with our color tiles. And remember, you only use 1 tile for each sound, and we're going to be using our green tiles for vowel sounds. Okay, so the very first word we're going to do is dancer. We've already heard that one. How many syllables did it have? Dancer. Now, I want you to pull down the tiles that would go with dancer. Only 1 tile per sound. Okay, let's hear those sounds. D, a, n, s, er. Spell it 1 syllable at a time if you need to. Okay. D, a, N. So now we have Dan, and now, or Dan. There's another. So we have the first syllable, dance. What is that going to be? All right. Dancer. Now grab your marker. Okay, I forgot to tell you to get your dry erase marker. We will be writing on the tiles today. Okay, so here we go. Let's do those. Only lowercase letters, folks. So let's get used to that. So we have D, A, N, S. How are we going to make that? We're using our CE for that. Okay? And I'm putting those together even though the suffix is, we would say the suffix ER, but we wouldn't put two E's together on there, would we? So we have dancer. Okay, dancer. All right. So I'm going to clear this off real quick. And put your tiles back to where they belong. Whoops. All right. Next word, pencil. How many syllables? Pencil. Remembering that we have the, hang on just a second. Sorry, my puppy got a little bit loud. Okay, so pencil. We want to spell that one syllable at a time, remembering how we're going to bring these down, okay? One sound at a time. So let's do first syllable. P, N, and then S, I, O. 3 sounds in each syllable. We're going to be using a lot of tiles for this, aren't we? So here we go. P, E, N, first syllable, pen. S, I, O, pencil. Let's grab your marker. Okay. All lowercase letters, please. P, E, N, pen. We have a separation here if you'd like to see that separation between syllable 1 and syllable 2. And then we have a S. What are we studying that we need to use right here? A C, I. Pencil. Pencil. Good. Right, let's erase that. And let's go for one more word here. And I'm going to place my tiles away. This one looked a little bit different than the one before it, didn't it? Okay. And our next word is accept. Accept. How many syllables? Accept. 2 syllables. Okay, so we're going to bring down our tiles for syllable 1. Ack. Okay, ah. Ooh, we begin with a vowel on this one, don't we? Ack. And then our second syllable is sept. S-E-P-T. Okay, those were really close together, those last 2, weren't they? So, S. That's a consonant sound. And that's still 2 sounds, even though they're really close together. Those are 2 sounds. Accept. Let's grab a marker. Okay. We want to write on the tiles for this. Ack. Okay. C's kind of like to be around A, O's, and U's, right? Okay. Ack. And then we have, that's a nasty line, but oh well, sept. Okay. What are we studying right now that's going to say the S sound? S. E. C before an E says S. Pt. P. accept. Good. Okay. And let's erase that. Good job, everybody. If we'd been in a regular class, we would have done more than that, but we're going to stop right there for our video on our tiles anyway. Okay. Next thing I'd like for you to do is turn to your page 3 in your book. Okay, so get out your purple Spire book. Let me get my page 3 here. Now, if you'll notice, well, darn, there we go. If you'll notice, we're on page 3. I'm going to circle that up so you can see it. I think you've had enough time to get there now. If not, pause. You know, you can come back and do those things. Okay. We're going to read through our words. Some of them are going to follow our soft C sound. Some of them are just a review of things that we've done before. Okay, so we're going to go, instead of going across today, we're going to go down like columns. Okay, so I'd like for you to say these words or echo them with me or whatever you'd like to do. Okay, so here we go. Nice, die, sweeter, tooth, picnic. Up to the top, space, race, light, place, wings. Next row, or next column, foolish, peace, raining, since, suddenly. Ooh, that one had a lot of syllables in it, didn't it? Cried, stayed, pencil, fence, runner. Last one. Scent, shouting, flounce, proof, kettle. Good, okay. Also on this page you have your sentences. We're going to go through these. This is going to be like a homework for you, okay? So what I'd like for you to do is with your pencil, place a check mark on page 3. I want you to remember that page 3 is for you to practice with someone. So I'd like for you to go through these words on page 3. I want you to pronounce them properly to someone. And then I'd like for you to read these sentences out loud. Remember, I would like for you to use expression as you read these sentences. I'd like for you to choose a word that you could make the emphasis on. So it makes it makes your reading stick better. It makes you understand, makes your reading come to life when you do things like that. You might even want to do it a couple of ways. Read each sentence like 1 or 2 or 3 times. Kind of make somebody giggle with how you read it out loud to them. So for instance, on this one, I might say, Grace had a foolish look on her face. Or I might say it like this, Grace had a foolish look on her face. Or I might say the emphasis on a different word. Grace had a foolish look on her face. Okay, see how you could do that. See, I read it 3 different times, hardly took any time at all. But I would like for you to do that. Practice reading things with emphasis. Really helps you to hear and understand your reading better. Now, we're going to skip back to page 2. So I'm going to circle up page 2 over here. This is also part of what I'd like for you to do as you're on your own work. Okay? I'd like for you, these are all of the sight words from level 1 to level 5. So, I'd like for you to read these to somebody. I'd like for you to put a time to it. First, just say them, just regularly, like the, has, is, his, I, was, to, do. Just kind of easy going. The next time, maybe you want to pick it up and go a little faster. And then maybe the next time, you're going to say these and have them timed. Or you could time it the first time you say it and then see how fast you can get by the end without making any mistakes. But I would like for you to go over these 3 different times. Doesn't matter. If you get to the end, you say them all through the end, you could maybe go backward through them if you wanted to. Doesn't matter, okay? But I would like for you to do them 3 times each. So page 2 is homework. and page 3 is homework. All right? So let's go on. And I would like, let me see where I'm going to be here. I'd like for you to turn to page 4. On page 4 is a poem. And on poetry, not all poetry rhymes. I think you figured this out by the 4th, 5th, or 6th grade. And what we're going to do is we're going to come through here and we're going to mark our rhyming lines. I'm going to read through the poem one time, and then we're going to mark the lines that rhyme. And we're going to do that with letters. And we're going to see what type of poetry we were looking at here. So this is called Nancy, My Cat. Follow along with your eyes as I read. Some cats are grand and some are fancy. My cat is plain. I call her Nancy. A mighty hunter of rats and mice. She brings them to me. Say, that's nice. She sits and stares. She licks my face. Then all at once she has to race. Around the room and up the hall. Then whoosh, she's back to bat a ball. She stalks and she prances. She walks and she dances. She climbs and takes chances. She always entrances. At night I let her out to roam, but then she always comes back home. Nancy is my cat, and that is that. Okay, so I want to have you pick up a pencil right now, and we're going to mark each line with a letter. And lines that rhyme, we match with the same letter. So if I look here, I notice that at the end of this line, it says fancy and Nancy. Fancy, Nancy. Those rhyme. So I'm going to say, since these two rhyme, I'm going to call them A. Okay. Now, if I look up here, does Nancy Fancy rhyme with mice? No. Okay. This is antsy, antsy, and this one's ice. They don't rhyme. So if I look, I'm going to see if the next line rhymes with it. Mice, ice. They do rhyme. So I'm going to underline those. But I can't put an A by those because they didn't rhyme with the A rhyming. So I put a B beside these. B, B. These two rhyme. So I had a rhyming here, rhyming here. Let's look at the next ending words. I have nice and mice. Does that rhyme with face? No, it would have had to have ended with ice, and this ends in ace. They don't rhyme. See if the next line rhymes with this one. Face, race. They both ended in the ace sound. Well, I can't put an A beside these because face and Nancy, they don't rhyme either. Couldn't put a B. They didn't rhyme with the mice or nice, so they get their own letter. C, C. Okay, so these two lines rhymed. What I'd like for you to do right now is to pause the video, come back after you've marked page 4, and I want you to mark it with the rhyming lines as I've done here. So pause the video now. When you're done, come back and see if you've marked them the correct way. See you back in just a couple of minutes. Okay, hope you paused the video and let's see if you marked yours correctly. Okay, I have an A, the stuff that, in red, the stuff that we did together, and in blue, the stuff that you should have done on your own. And if you'll look, the very next lines are hall, ball, but they didn't rhyme with anything above, so we gave them a letter that matched D, D. Now here's the one that I thought maybe gave you a little bit of a problem. We have prances, dances, chances, entrances. We'd mark all those with E. They all rhymed with each other. Okay. And then roam, home. Even though that's an OA that says O, and this is a O consonant E, doesn't matter. They still rhymed. F, F for this. Cat, that, G, G. And this is a special type of poem. This is called a couplet. That's when you have two lines that rhyme with each other in, fancy Nancy, mice nice, face race. So you have two lines together that rhyme with each other. Okay? All right. Now, you were sent home a handout this week. On your handout, it says up at the top, please watch the video for the week of May 4th through May 8th. Not sure all of y'all are watching. I hope that you are. Okay, for the instructions on this page. So there are instructions on this page for this. I'm giving them to you right now. Okay, it says use page 4 in your purple book to help you complete this page. Well, that's the page that we just had. Okay, and it says, how do you think the author feels about Nancy? What about how the cat feels about the author? Can you tell from what the author says and from what you know about cats? It says find 3 items from the poem to prove the conclusion. So I gave you a little graphic organizer about drawing conclusions, and I gave you the conclusion here. The author really enjoys Nancy, and Nancy seems to like the author too. So I need you to have 3 items, one here, here, and here, that prove what the conclusion is. And the conclusion is that Nancy likes her owner and the owner likes Nancy. Okay, so, and the author is the owner, by the way. Right. And over here I put handout because this is a handout that you should have found in your work this week. And I want you to take note of when this is due. This is due May 11th, okay? And it's your work for May 4th through the 8th. Now the pages in your book that I gave you for your homework, page 2 and page 3 to read aloud, I don't want those pages torn out or anything. I just would like for you to do that, okay? Sure has been good to be back with you again this week. I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. And until we meet again, bye-bye for now.